My name is Mira. I am 22 years old, and this is the story of the darkest chapter of my life. I lived with my parents and my elder sister, Priya. She was 5 years older than me, a kind-hearted woman, and the closest person to me. We shared everything: dreams, secrets, and endless late-night talks. When Priya got married, we all believed she had found a good life partner. He was educated, had a stable job, and treated my parents with politeness. My sister trusted him blindly. I was happy too, because I thought she would always be safe with him. But very soon I learned that the man behind that polite smile was not the same inside. The first time it happened, I was visiting my sister's new home. Priya had gone to the kitchen to make tea, and he came near me. His eyes were strange, filled with something that made me uncomfortable. He whispered, "You are very beautiful. You should stay here often." I felt a chill in my body. I stepped back and forced a smile, pretending I didn't hear. I thought maybe I misunderstood, but deep down, I knew I didn't. Whenever I visited them, he would find ways to come close to me. Sometimes he tried to touch my hand by mistake. Sometimes he would compliment me in a way that made my skin crawl. I avoided being alone in the same room with him, but it was not always possible. Once, when Priya went to the market, he said in a low voice, "Don't tell her anything. If you do, you will regret it." His smile was cruel, and his eyes showed threat. I was shocked and scared. He was my sister's husband. How could I tell her? Would she believe me? What if she thought I was lying? So I stayed silent. But silence became my prison. Whenever Priya invited me to stay over, I made excuses. She felt bad. "Mira, why don't you come? I miss you." I could only smile and say, "I have college work." She didn't know the real reason. He continued his torture in hidden ways. He would message me from unknown numbers, sending uncomfortable words. He would stand too close when Priya wasn't watching. His threats grew stronger. "If you open your mouth, you'll ruin your sister's life. She will never forgive you." I felt trapped between love for my sister and fear of her husband. One day, we all stayed together at my uncle's house. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, I woke up to see him standing near the door, staring at me. My heart raced. I quickly pretended to sleep. He whispered, "Don't forget, if you tell anyone, it will destroy everything." I trembled under the blanket, holding back tears until morning. At home, I started losing myself. I stopped laughing, stopped eating properly. My parents noticed my sadness, but thought it was because of studies. Only my diary knew the truth. I poured my pain into words, writing about the fear that lived inside me. One day, Priya came to visit us. She looked at me with concern. "Mira, you have changed. You don't talk to me openly anymore. Did I do something wrong?" My throat tightened. I wanted to scream, "No, it's your husband." But when I saw the love in her eyes, I couldn't break her heart. Instead, I just hugged her tightly and cried silently. Months passed. I tried to stay away from him as much as possible. I avoided going to their house, avoided family gatherings where he was present, but still sometimes we had to meet. Every time, his eyes reminded me of the prison I was stuck in. The fear started affecting my studies. I couldn't concentrate, couldn't sleep. My friends asked what was wrong, but I had no courage to share. How could I tell anyone that my own brother-in-law is destroying my peace? One evening, everything changed. He visited our house alone, saying Priya was unwell. My parents were not at home. I felt a wave of panic. He walked closer and said, "Why do you keep ignoring me? You know you can't escape forever." That moment, something broke inside me. I realized my silence was giving him more power. If I didn't speak up, he would never stop. I gathered every courage and shouted at him,
"Leave me alone! If you try to hurt me again, I will tell my parents and my sister everything. Do not underestimate me."
He froze, shocked that I finally raised my voice. His eyes turned cold, but I didn't let fear show. I walked out of the house and stood outside until my parents came back. He left quickly, pretending nothing happened. That night, I made a decision. I could not keep carrying this burden. My silence was killing me slowly. I loved my sister, but she deserved to know the truth about the man she trusted. The next day, I gathered all my courage and sat with Priya alone. My hands were shaking, but I looked at her and said, "Sister, I need to tell you something very important." Tears rolled down my face as I told her everything. His words, his threats, his stares, his behavior. I expected her to get angry, to accuse me, or to break down. For a long time, she sat silently, then her eyes filled with tears. She held my hand tightly and whispered, "Mira, why didn't you tell me earlier? I'm so sorry you went through this alone. I believe you." Those words freed me from months of fear. I cried in her arms, and for the first time, I felt safe. Priya didn't shout or fight immediately, but I knew her. She was strong in her own way. Slowly, she started observing him closely. His late-night phone calls, his secretive behavior, everything began to make sense to her. Within months, she confronted him. Their marriage shook, but Priya chose not to stay silent like I had. She told our parents and even his family what he had done. At first, people tried to silence her, but she stood strong. A man who cannot respect my sister can never respect me. Eventually, Priya decided to separate from him. It was not an easy decision, but she valued her dignity more than a fake marriage. Looking back, I still feel pain for the days I lived in silence, but I also feel proud that I found the courage to finally speak. Now, whenever someone asks me about that time, I say, never keep quiet when someone tortures you, even if he is a family member. Fear only gives them more power. Speak up. Truth will hurt, but silence will destroy you. Silence in front of abuse only makes the abuser stronger. No matter how close the person is, family, friend, or relative, wrong is always wrong. Speaking the truth may shake relationships, but it also sets you free.